everyone, and thank you all so much for joining me. We're in the middle of a commission meeting now, but I wanted to come by and give you a few remarks about and really express my feelings about what happened this morning. I'm happy and delighted to be joined by Senator Jen Jordan, our state Senate, who chairs our Senate delegation, and Representative David Dreyer, who chairs our House delegation, and you will hear from the two of them. Let me start by saying that I will never, ever back down from the fight with these conspiracy theorists who push the big lie in a disgraceful attempt to take away the voices of Fulton County voters. Now, I understand that the State Elections Board had no choice in this matter because the way the law reads, it says that they shall take the action that they took this morning. But Senate Bill 202 made it clear that this would happen. But it is still outrageous to see the big lie and demands of conspiracy theorists continue to progress. It's alive and well. This is a result of a cynical ploy to undermine faith in our elections process and even democracy itself. It is partisan politics at its worst. Today was a shameful reminder that the big lie, again, is alive and well. It has been successfully laundered and accepted by some of those who initially stood up against it, such as our Secretary of State. Now, his comrades in this fight are the same conspiracy theorists he rebuked last year. He sold out and thrown his lot in with those who want to conduct a hostile takeover of our elections because he fell out of grace with the former President of the United States of America, and he's trying to do everything in his power to curry favor with President Trump, then President Trump. Now he's desperately trying to cling to power by appeasing those who believe in the big lie. And many of those pushing for this takeover are only doing so because they think it will help them in their efforts to get reelected. I do not have a relationship with members of the Performance Review Panel. If they have as much as integrity as I hope they do, they'll stay above the petty politics and reaffirm that even under the nearly impossible circumstances of a pandemic, our elections remain safe, secure, and transparent. Because we know that at the end of the day, this is really all about the big lie. I have said from the beginning, if you have any evidence of wrongdoing, malfeasance, bring it to me. Hasn't happened. Otherwise, put up or shut up. And you'll remember that commercial long ago. Where's the beef? Nobody has brought the beef to me yet. But here we are, 9 months later, and they're still looking. They're trying to fool voters into thinking that something happened, but voters won't be tricked. They know our elections were open and transparent, and that this is just the big lie and cynical partisanship. We're not going to let them get away with it without this fight. They picked the wrong county to mess with this time. Thank you. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This three-person panel, they didn't have a choice because you had members of the General Assembly trigger the process for political motivations. Not a single one of the members that requested this think that their election results are wrong, or that the wins by the GOP, remember, they have the majority in the General Assembly, that their wins are somehow wrong or somehow procured by fraud. They don't think that. So how do we know it's political? Just look at Twitter. Y'all, we have a state senator who is using the big lie as the basis of a run for statewide office. You go to their social media accounts and you see that all of this, going after Fulton County, being tough, throwing our voters, to the side and sacrificing them, they're using it so that they can win their primaries. And that's just it. They're going to one-up each other every time because they're trying to get the attention of the former president of the United States. Historic turnout in the middle of a pandemic, where the results have been counted not once, not twice, but 3 times. The election workers in Fulton County put their health at risk. They have been threatened. They've had to deal with death threats, intimidation, trolling, endless trolling. But one allegation after the other has been debunked time and again. But it's like we're playing whack-a-mole with these conspiracy theories, and it's gotta stop. The state election board had to do what it did today, but the 3 people that were appointed, they can act honorably, and they can actually produce a result that will show that there was no malfeasance with respect to our elections. Thank you.
My name is State Representative David Dreyer from House District 59, and I chair the Fulton House delegation. Again, this is a partisan attempt to take over Fulton Elections Board. Independent election experts, including some that monitored the elections from the beginning of last year all the way through the January runoff, have been unequivocal. There was no fraud, there was no malfeasance in Fulton's election administration. I want to say it again, there was no fraud or malfeasance in Fulton's election administration. Fulton is home to over 10% of the voters in Georgia, and Fulton is one of the most diverse counties in Georgia. But this morning, we saw 3 white people appointed to conduct an investigation of Fulton County with a predetermined end to take over the Fulton Elections Board and allow partisans to run it for the upcoming 2022 elections. We know that the individuals that are pushing this are doing it in response to political pressure. In fact, the letter initiating this investigation was sent by an individual who's a Republican and who was attacked by Trump just days before. This was an effort to turn the attention away from himself and rile up the base and make people be scared by pointing at an incredibly diverse county. Georgia is better than this. Fulton County is at the table and willing to work to improve their elections process, but I'll say this, anytime you have a large, massive logistical enterprise, you're gonna have ways that you can improve, and that's what we have here. But people can trust the election results from Fulton County. People will be able to do that in the future while Fulton continues to improve. But what we don't need are a group of individuals that do not reflect the diversity of Fulton County, making determinations and handing over Fulton elections to a partisan that's not going to necessarily ensure a fair result. So on behalf of the Fulton House delegation, we're going to do everything we can to fight this. We're going to stand with the Chairman Pitts, the members of the Fulton Commission, and the Senate delegation. Thank you.
Any questions? Any questions?
Chairman Pitts.
Yes.
One of the members of the election board conceded that this entire process was fueled by disinformation from the November 2020 election. At the same time, she also encouraged Fulton County to kind of use the review as a chance to put some fresh eyes on the system. What would you say to that?
Well, I'll say this. Going back to last year, November 20th, those votes have been counted 3 times. I always say 1, 2, and 3, one time by hand. Results almost identical. So I'm not sure what else they can be looking for. It's all about the big lie, and it's all about, and by the way, that election's been certified, so that's over. So what's this about then? It's about 2022 and 2024, and trying to curry favor with then President Trump and his crowd. That's exactly what this is all about. We are united in this fight. We won in 2020, they lost. It's as simple as that. They're getting ready for 2022, and so are we. They're getting ready for 2024, and so are we. I say, let's get it on, because our elections were open, they were fair, and they were transparent, and they will be so again in 2022 and 2024. Even the Secretary of State's own person concluded, what's his name, Carter Jones, concluded in his report that our elections, there was no malfeasance, no, in the layman's terms, no hanky-panky whatsoever. I've been in a lot of elections. You've all heard me say this before. And there's never been a perfect election. Are there areas in which we can improve? Yes, they are. Are we working to do so now? Yes, we are. We will even be better come the fall of this year and March for the primaries of next year. So we're taking this very seriously. We're going to continue to work to make sure that we have the best possible elections in Fulton County. And I think that with the help of our House leaders and our Senate leaders, we will do just that.
So what can y'all do to fight back against this? And if it does involve the courts, what specifically would you all be looking to do in the courts?
Well, the first thing that we need to do is we need to tell everybody the truth. I mean, that is what has been going on since the start of this big lie. We need to tell people the truth. We need to tell people that our elections were certified and they were accurate, and you can trust our democracy. Any attempts to undermine democracy are an assault on every American and every voter. We've got to be better than that. We've got to stand up for the truth, and we appreciate you communicating what is really happening in this country right now. Fulton County has a county attorney. I expect there will be legal avenues to pursue, but the first thing we want to do is we want to let everyone know the truth of what's happening and that there is a partisan takeover of elections and an assault on democracy in our country today. We are going to continue to monitor this process and this investigation and stand up to it every step of the way. And then courts are always an option in our country.
And I'll add, there are 159 counties in the state of Georgia. Fulton County happens to be the largest and the most diverse and probably the most democratic. That's why there's a target on our back. So if you're going to audit all 159. Why keep picking on Fulton County? Our votes have been counted 3 times and that election's certified. So stop it. When is it enough? We're tired of it. Other questions? All right, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. All right. Very good. Yes, good job.